Hello there, welcome to another video. Let's talk about self-destructive patterns. Now, one thing you need to know is that these patterns don't always look obvious. Some may look like a routine and you have no idea about it. So let's get into it. If you keep everyone comfortable at the expense of yourself, you'll always be at the losing end. Sometimes protecting your energy does not make you selfish. It makes you sustainable because if someone's well being relies on your exhaustion, that's not connection, honey. That's dependency. People who drain you might not always insult you, but some will turn every conversations about themselves. Some will constantly complain but never change. Every interaction you have with them just leaves you tired, and in worst cases, you need recovery time after seeing them. At this point, it becomes some sort of emotional taxation. If your chest tightens and you start having some wiggle wobble in your stomach when they reach out, or after having an interaction with them, then you are at the peak level, okay? You have to stop over justifying yourself on why you keep on having them around. Let's be honest, some of us grew in survival mode, and we watched our parents grow and survive, and struggle became the new norm. So when ease shows up, it becomes unfamiliar. Listen, I get it. Trust me, I do. We all go through hard times, sometimes back to back, you start questioning yourself if God is really watching. Trust me, I get it. But some of us just confuse resilience with trauma bonding. You wear suffering as a badge of honor. You wear exhaustion like it's evidence that you're doing something right. If you're not struggling, you start creating problems in your head. You start feeling guilty when things start going smooth. It's like you can't even stand yourself being happy just for a second, which is weird, honestly. Listen, you don't need chaos to feel alive. You don't need pain to feel alive. The only thing overthinking does is kill momentum. You delay your plans for so long that motivation dies out of natural causes at this point. Often people overthink because it feels like you're trying to control something or an outcome. But what people don't know is that control without action is just procrastination in disguise. The life you keep thinking about is not going to happen in your head. You don't need any more clarity. You just need the courage to do it. What overthinking does is make you indecisive that at the end of the day you feel exhausted without accomplishing anything. This hobby may not look toxic at first, but slowly and surely consumption turns into substitution. It may look like you're trying to stay informed and learn and get inspired, but in reality, you are not preparing yourself to act, you're just avoiding it. Information now becomes your hiding place. You screenshot, you save those videos, you bookmark, but no action to show for it. You feel inspired for a moment, but inspiration without action is pretty much useless. Your mind stays busy feeding on information, but you have no intention whatsoever turning your life around because for some reason, consuming feels productive without requiring vulnerability. Your mind knows too much, but your hands have done too little. Listen, you have to start consuming with purpose and not just out of habit. It may seem funny at first, but when the joke stops, it starts sounding more like a confession. You make fun of your dreams, of your mistakes before anyone else can. It's more like a shield, an armor disguised as charisma. There is a difference between being self aware and constantly shrinking yourself. I often hear people say it's not that deep. Oh, honey, it's that deep, even as a joke, because you repeatedly say something that your nerve system accepts as truth. And sometimes it's about how you have learned to stay around people by shrinking yourself and staying small so that people may like you. You have grown to survive by being funny instead of being honest, And maybe it's not even about the joke, but it's the aftertaste. You start sensing some sort of embarrassment, the subtle shame of putting your business out there disguised as a joke. And I'm not saying that you can't be funny. All I'm saying is you can be relatable without self erasing. You can be funny without belittling yourself. Being busy might sound productive, but a lot of times it's just disguised as avoidance. You make yourself busy as some sort of emotional numbness. For instance, you fill every quiet moment with noise because somehow silence will mean hearing your own thoughts. You start taking on responsibilities that no one asked you to, and people start praising you for being strong and hardworking. And get this, no one really questions if you're actually okay. So whatever you're feeling, be it pain or stress, becomes an AOB, and you never get to heal. And I'm not saying that you should stop being hardworking or ambitious. All I'm saying is stop using ambition as a hiding place. Rest without guilt. Be still without feeling lazy. Sit in silence without reaching for distractions. All in all, self destructive patterns don't show up loud, they show up familiar, things disguised as your personality traits. But hear me out, awareness is the part where excuses stop working. You see the pattern and you break it. The anger you swallowed to keep the peace, the resentment you turned into jokes, the grief you never got to process. You don't change just because it feels good. You change because writing the same pattern will make you feel worse. And this small brings me to the end. I hope you liked it. And if you did, please hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in my next one.